Day one.
Hey there, how are you?
All right, good. So, yeah, come on in. Get over there. So, where should I sit?
You can have a seat right here in this blue chair.
Okay, that's fine.
And what we're gonna do is go over some pictures we took on you the other day.
Yeah.
I know we talked a little bit about some of the stuff that's going on, and for you, a big thing is maintaining proper function, proper health, not necessarily trying to correct an issue, but more just kind of staying as healthy and as functional as you can.
Yeah, and also, sometimes I was feeling the headaches and stuff like that after working out.
Yeah.
And for a while I thought, out of kilter, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, and when we look at your pictures here in a second, we'll see exactly kind of what you're feeling, because there are some shifts and stuff. And so my goal is not to make you a radiologist, but I want to give you enough information so you kind of know what's going on. Okay?
Can I be honest with you?
Yes.
The reason why I never saw a chiropractor ever, I remember I mentioned that to you,
Yeah.
and you were like, never? It's true.
Uh-huh.
It's because all those high velocity thrusts and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, and I do this and stuff all
Right.
the time, but with the neck and everything, it just always made me feel like I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So I saw you take care of my mother-in-law, and I was like,
Yeah, well,
good hand. So I trust you 100%. Just want to see how it is,
Yeah, well, I completely understand that, and we don't do a lot of forceful or any forceful thrusts and adjustments of the neck, and so we'll kind of explain what we see, and then we'll kind of walk through what we need to do, and then we'll get you started today.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
And so we've got two main pictures up here. I'm going to stand if that's okay. This picture right here is a picture of your head and your neck. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And so your mouth is facing this way, so it's like you looking at me from the side.
Yeah.
All right. A couple things that we look for that are important when we're looking at a picture like this is we look at the overall condition of the neck. Okay. The neck should have a natural curve in it. When we look at our spine, we want a curve in the neck, opposite curve in the mid-back, and another curve in the low back, because what that does is that gives our spine a little bit of like a shock absorption. So when we go through life, when we're running, when we're playing tennis, when we're doing our activities, our body absorbs those motions, okay? Mm-hmm. When we look at yours, we can see the yellow line going straight and then the yellow line curving, how they meet and match here, but the yellow line here keeps coming back this way, right?
Is that good or bad?
Coming back this way is good. What's yours doing? Continues to go straight here.
Oh.
Right? And so what happens is you are actually losing that normal curvature in the neck. Okay? When we lose that normal curvature, what that does is that displaces the weight of the head. So from a biomechanics standpoint, the weight of the head, instead of it being back here on the strong portion of the bones, now it's being forced forward onto the discs and the weaker parts of the bone.
Oh, wow.
And so that takes and increases the amount of stress and strain down here. And if we look at kind of the position of these bones, and we look at the position of the disc, you've got a little bit of disc narrowing starting in the lower half of the neck. It's very mild, but what it does is it takes that nice, big, cushy disc like that, and it starts to wear on it just a little bit. And so now we're getting a little added pressure to the disc, and
right.
The bones are starting to change a little bit of shape. So this isn't arthritis yet.
Right.
The problem with leaving the neck in this position, if we don't do things to try to work on opening up some of that pressure, over time it's going to continue to grind and scuff,
right.
And that can lead to decay.
Yeah, that won't be good.
And when we get decay down here in the disc, especially in the lower half of the neck, this is where it sends nerves down your hands, your arms, to your fingertips, to the heart, to the lungs, to the thyroid gland. And so maintaining proper health and function down here is super, super important.
So the bottom line is too much compression down there, you get tingling in the fingers.
You can, yes.
Every now and then I do get that.
Mm-hmm.
I know I said no, but
Yeah.
Since we last talked,
Yes.
a little bit here, left side, left
Okay.
fingers.
Okay.
But yeah, can that actually affect heart palpitations and stuff?
It can, because all the nerves from your C6, C7, they shoot down the arms to the heart and to the lungs. And so we've had some patients that have responded to getting this area corrected and the upper neck corrected, and we've seen heart palpitations improve.
Wow.
There's a big study with blood pressure that was done in Chicago with upper cervical adjusting, and they found that by realigning the atlas in the group that was in the study, it actually lowered blood pressure to the equivalent of almost 2 blood pressure medications.
So are you dealing with only the cervical area, or are you going to deal with any
No,
of the
I
other?
work with the entire
Down
spine.
okay.
Yeah, work with the entire spine. But we work a lot with the atlas and the axis area, which is the top two bones in the neck, because if the atlas and axis area are off, the bones are very small up here, but the nerves are most abundant. And so the shifts that occur up here not only affect the nerves a lot, which then become our spinal cord, but also throw our body out of balance. Okay, and if we look at you on this picture here, when the head and the neck are not aligned with the rest of the body, what happens is we see compensations. Because we walk on 2 feet in a world of gravity, if your head shifts a little bit, the rest of the body's going to kind of follow and compensate to shift and try to correct itself. And so when we look at you here, the head and the neck, and then we look at the hips, you can see how your spine actually leans a little bit towards the right, and then it kind of comes back towards the left to correct itself. Mm-hmm. And that lean is actually at about a 13-degree tilt. Okay.
Noisy lawnmower.
Noisy lawnmower, yeah. And so what this does, just like when we talked about here, is when we're shifted off center just a little bit, our body will shift to try to correct that, and it creates a little bit of an imbalance in the hips, which then in turn can increase stress and strain both above and below the curve.
And that's affecting all the muscles too for all of this. Your body knows that it's
correct.
Like trying to fight hard to
correct.
Stay right.
Yeah, your brain and your eyes always want to try to remain level. It's called the righting reflex. So all the muscles attached to the spine. And so absolutely, if we've got a little bit of a shift, the body's going to do what it's designed to do, and it's going to try to correct this. And then we can see it in tight muscles. So that's why a lot of times people have a lot of tightness on one side of the body, but not on the other. And that's because of these subtle shifts that occur over time.
So, you were saying when I first talked to you that we're going to start at the top to do like adjustments first and then work our way down. Is that the idea?
Yep, that's the idea. So we'll work on getting the atlas and the axis, the top 2 bones in the neck, aligned. They look like this right here. Okay, and so the head sits up here.
Yeah.
This hole is where the brainstem sits, and then it becomes our spinal cord.
Yeah.
And so on you, this bone shifted and it's twisted. So when we work on trying to correct that, get the pressure off all the bundles of nerves, and then we'll start working on the rest of the spine.
So my head is tilted which way?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
It's my head's tilted to the right. Or is that's fine.
And so when we look at this picture right here, your head is tilted to the left. This line right here is going right through that top bone, the atlas. It kind of looks like a bow tie sitting up here. And so your atlas is actually shifted up like this, which is throwing the weight of the head this way. The green line is center, the yellow line is where you are.
And stretching the muscles and all of that stuff, does that really get to this, or you really do have to?
You know, they go hand in hand. Stretching can only do so much. Adjusting the spine can only do so much. And so when we combine the two, stretching and strengthening and stability with actual alignment, that's when people do the best.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So your head is shifting, so that top bone shifted to the right, it's throwing your body off. So the head leans this way, and then the body's kind of compensated for that.
And just that alone can affect me, what? Dizziness, vision? I mean, tell me what
Yeah,
if I didn't take care of this, what could happen?
Well, it's going to put pressure on the nerves. It's going to throw your spine out. So it's almost like driving your car in with bad alignment. If you don't correct the alignment, eventually those tires wear out. And so you're going to have areas of your spine that deteriorate at a quicker rate. And most often we see it in the middle half to the lower neck, where you have a little bit going on there at C5-6, okay? We'll see it in the lower back next. The mid-back, typically we don't see those types of issues because the mid-back's compensating for what's happening above and below. And so over time, these are degenerative, and they can accumulate over time. We don't go from perfect to bad overnight. What happens is it grinds and it scuffs and it grinds and it scuffs and it grinds and it scuffs. And so if we can catch it before it becomes bad, then it's a matter of just getting some pressure off there.
Yeah, so just like the daily living with this all crooked, that's what's really stressful.
Correct.
Daily, everyday life, keep it more straight, less stress every day.
Correct, yep. So when we look at this little schematic here, this is a kind of a back picture of the neck, but when that atlas shifts out of position, it sends nerves everywhere. And so some of the number one things we see are headaches, we see dizziness, we see facial pain, we see trigeminal neuralgia, but really it can affect everything below that
The
area.
immune system,
Everything gets its direction and function from the brain. And if the brain can't communicate with that area, then it's going to malfunction, and it's eventually going to manifest into some type of symptom.
So anything else we should do before the adjusting? Anything else you wanted to tell me about what you saw with my x-rays?
Those are really the biggest things, is the atlas is shifted, it's causing some pressure here in the lower neck, and then the amount of tilt that's occurred with the body. And I think by getting the head on straight, and we can get to work on that lower back area, that it's going to allow your body to correct itself, and then we're going to be able to minimize future wear and tear.
And I know you can't predict, like, what do you think treatment-wise? How, is it a year, half a year work?
I think somewhere in your case, everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah, it's like,
but I would say probably 4 to 6 months to get you stable, and then after that, just check it periodically. Almost kind of like brushing your teeth.
nice. I'm looking forward to this thing. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We'll get you adjusted.